Hey everybody, thank you for downloading this episode of We Got This with Mark and Hal. Please don't forget to leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. We'd really appreciate it. But for now, please enjoy this episode of We Got This with Mark and Hal. Hello, I'm Hal Lublin.
And I'm Mark Gagliardi.
Since the dawn of humanity, one issue has gone unsettled. With the fate of the world in the balance, we're here to settle, once and for all, Best Dorito.
That's right. Don't worry, everyone. We got this.
Podcasts should have a theme song. Podcasts should not have a theme song. Yes, they should. No, they shouldn't. They sound good. Yeah, but people are just going to skip past it. You know what? You're right. We got this.
I'm so excited for this episode, and you don't want to do this at all. You don't want to do this. You fought me on this tooth and nail.
I have fought you on this episode tooth and nail. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. I think the premise is ridiculous. But I think we're shilling for a company.
We're not. Well, they're not paying us. They should be.
Yeah.
Lord knows they should be.
I think that the fact that we're doing this with handheld microphones and listeners, we have 9 bags of Doritos on the table.
That's the sound of a party.
We have 9 different flavor varieties of Dorito brand corn tortilla chip.
Well, this is, this was suggested by Tuna the Panda.
Oh, thanks, Tuna.
And
I'm sorry. Thanks, Mr. Panda.
Well, you didn't want to do M&Ms either, remember?
I was not as against M&M's as this. You know why I'm against this?
Because they're Doritos and they all taste the same?
Yeah. I told you when we started this, I'm going to do a blind test. And I'm going to see if you can tell the difference between any of these.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure you'll be able to tell the difference between taco and Cool Ranch and nacho, but all the ones that are like, it's a pepper.
I think
here's a jalapeno version and here's a flame.
Don't forget, I don't eat many foods, so I know the ones I eat really well.
Is that why you got excited about this? You were like, I know all of these flavors.
I'm just excited to eat Doritos.
Oh my God.
Aren't you excited? Do you love Doritos?
I do love Doritos.
I love Doritos too.
Yeah,
and now we're going to experience our love and figure out which one of these flavors, once and for all, is the greatest. And there are some so I went to a Ralph's, in your neighborhood, Mark, and I bought every version of Doritos. I bought one Doritos mix just so we could see what was in the bag. I don't count that as a Dorito. It's a party mix that they put out with the brand on it. I got every single version of Doritos they have, and I bought toilet paper to bring home, like one of those 9 things where it was like a platter.
Because you know what these Doritos are going to do to you.
So I made it like a platter with that, and then I had the bags of Doritos stacked on it, and I realized I didn't have spicy nacho, which was on the bottom, so I started trying to squat to pick it up.
No, man.
Thankfully, a worker, one of the Ralph's employees,
he's like, hey, man, are you Dorito squatting in my aisle?
He chased me out. Like I was a raccoon in his garbage can. Okay, so let's review the flavors we have. The Doritos mix is Blazing Buffalo Explosion. We have, that's in a light, like a sky blue bag.
Uh-huh.
We've got the lime green bag, which has Poppin' Jalapeno in it.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the purple bag, which has Flamas, which appears to be part, pepper, Sazonado flavored, but it also has lime.
I'm sorry, what flavor?
Sazonado. That's what it says on the bag. Sazonado. See? Right there.
That is actually, if you notice on every other bag, right there in that spot,
seasoning.
It's the word flavored.
I took French.
That is Spanish for flavored. I'm guessing that the flavor Flamas is designed for a bilingual audience because it's the only one whose bag is bilingual in this collection.
I think I should just retire from podcasting now.
Probably.
We've got a greener bag, like a mint green bag. That's salsa verde flavored.
Mm-hmm. Then or salsa verde flavonado.
Salsa verde flavonado. Sazonado. We have tapatio, or as you call it.
Tapatio.
Yes. We've got the traditional nacho cheese. We've got Cool Ranch. And then we have what I think is a flavor that it was one of the originals. It actually was the second flavor ever introduced, and it is now 40 years old. My goodness, it's 50 years old. It's the Doritos taco flavor. And it's in what the bag was. The way you said
that was like you were introducing a guest on your talk show.
This bag of chips.
This bag is 50 years. This flavor is 50 years old. Doritos taco flavor. I expected them to just come out from behind the curtain.
This bag's been around the world. It's been all over the place. It's got a new television show coming out this fall on ABC Family, which is now called Freeform. And it's taco flavored Doritos. Let's hear it for them.
I don't like that they changed the name to Freeform.
I don't either. I get confused.
I know.
I think it's,
I was like, where's ABC Family? That's where I watch all my Christmas stuff every year. I don't want to watch it on Freeform. That's the Charmed channel, isn't it?
Which
it's all like teenage ghost hunters. Isn't that all their shows now?
Pretty Little Lying Ghosts.
Yeah. Why are we doing this?
The Ghosts of Cheerleaders. All right. I want to ask you a trivia question.
Okay.
First of all, the first flavor of Dorito was
nacho.
Toasted corn.
Okay.
1966. So, it was in a yellow bag.
So it was just a tortilla chip.
It was, but do you know where it was born?
I'm guessing at Memorial Hospital.
That's right. And we've got the mother here right now. Let's bring out
my gosh.
Poppin' Jalapeno. It was founded at the Casa de Fritos, which is now called Rancho del Zocalo.
Mm-hmm.
You know where that is?
Yeah, it's the Mexican restaurant at Disneyland.
That's right. That's where it was started in the early 1960s. They were using surplus tortillas. So there's a traditional Mexican snack that's known as totopo.
Mm-hmm.
And then the company-owned restaurant cut them up, fried them, and added basic seasoning. And Frito-Lay, of course, produces them now.
So hang on. Doritos were invented at Disneyland?
Yes, by Frito-Lay. It's not like Doritos they are based on, I guess, a traditional Mexican snack, but it's not.
Chips and salsa. It's at every Mexican restaurant forever.
I think it's a specific.
Man, this is going to be a culturally insensitive episode.
It's a special type of seasoning. It's called sazonado.
Why are we doing this?
Because Tuna the Panda asked. Basically, we're going to eat these Doritos. So, okay. In the order of their introduction, this is what we have on the list that was put together by Kate McManus. We had toasted corn in 1966. Do not have that here.
Mm-hmm. Then because they do not have that anymore.
Yes. The taco flavoring, which has returned. It is in what was the original bag, which I love. I love the design of that bag.
I'm a huge fan of the old school Dorito bag.
Yeah.
Can this just be based on the bag? Because taco flavor wins if we're just looking at the bags.
The current Doritos logo looks like it was designed just so they could sponsor the X Games.
Yeah. Yeah, the Doritos logo looks like someone hacked into a logo and is broadcasting their super laser cyber symbol.
Yeah. Do you like extreme chips? Look at this triangle. It's piercing the word Doritos. Whoa.
Whereas the old school Dorito bag looks like one of those shag paintings that you can buy on Main Street in Disneyland.
Yep.
Just down the way from Rancho del Zocalo.
I said that wrong too, which is Southern California.
Yeah.
Of course it is. But that
Rancho Zocalo.
Rancho Zocalo. Yeah, we're going to go down to Rancho Zocalo. Nobody in Philadelphia pronounces anything right. That's our whole thing.
You don't even pronounce anything completely.
We call an entire sandwich a hoagie. Nobody else calls it that.
No, as this show has determined.
Man.
Hey,
now I'm depressed.
I'll tell you one person who doesn't call that sandwich a hoagie anymore.
Who?
Al Lublin.
Yeah, whatever. Enjoy your subs, people. But the Doritos logo looks like that Disneyland logo, that original logo. So probably not a coincidence considering that's where it was born.
Mm-hmm.
So, going in order of birth again, then in 1972, nacho cheese, which is really the base flavor that we all know is the most common Doritos in the bright red bag. Then flash forward 14 years later, we get Cool Ranch.
Ooh, I love me some Cool Ranch. I remember when Cool Ranch came out.
Was that during a time when Cool Ranch was being put on everything?
I think ranch generally since the 80s everybody's been dipping things in ranch and putting things in ranch and pouring ranch dressing on things since about then, it feels like.
Is that the symbol?
But though that's about when I came into consciousness as a human. Ranch dressing could have been around for thousands of years,
right.
But before I was like 7 or 8 years old, I wouldn't have known it, you know?
Isn't that like the thing, like when I was a kid and when we got to the part of school where we studied dinosaurs, all of a sudden I saw dinosaur books everywhere and I was like, oh, my school must be like leading edge here. And we're influencing everybody else to study dinosaurs.
Yeah, of course.
Not even thinking that that's something that just at that age you're more aware of it because you've been told about it.
Yeah. And now that you know that it's out there, it's like when you see that cat on the pile of wood in that one internet photo.
What?
Yeah, it's like a camouflage cat. Once you see the cat, you can't not see the cat.
Okay, yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I always felt that way about avocados because I moved from Chicago to Los Angeles after college.
Yeah.
And avocados were everywhere.
Sure.
And avocados, I don't know if it's because avocados were getting popular at the time or I moved to California. There's avocados everywhere in California.
It's definitely the second thing in both of our cases.
Yeah.
It's really it's a really good reminder of how self-centered all people are.
That we are the ones that like, look at this, man. We're the first person to get excited about avocados.
Yeah. And now they're everywhere now that we've noticed them.
Have you ever been first on a bandwagon? Did you ever take pride in being first on a bandwagon for something?
This show?
I mean, you know what I mean.
No.
A food trend. Well, you don't follow food trends. You eat like a 9-year-old. As evinced by our 9 bags of Doritos.
I would just lay down on those for hours and just roll around and feel the crunching.
Look, I'm giving you grief. I'm very excited that there are 9 bags of Doritos on my table.
I'll tell you a trend, not a trend. The first time I ever came to Los Angeles was in 1990 or 91. Mm-hmm. At the time, Dennis Miller had his own talk show. He had just left SNL. Mm-hmm. This is when he had his like network talk show. And his musical guest was the Spin Doctors.
Ooh.
And it was like right before I think they were starting to get airplay, but weren't as huge as they would become. So I felt in a certain sense that I was kind of like a hipster to
the Spin Doctors.
The Spin Doctors. I'm a real Spin Doctors hipster.
Well, the Spin Doctors looked like they were the guys that sought out bands before anyone else did. They just had that look about them. Like it was like if you stand in front of 2 mirrors.
Yeah.
Like if the Spin Doctors discovered the Spin Doctors before everyone else did, I think you go into a time hole. Time hole!
Did you ever go to like a tape trading convention? Like a musical, like bootlegs and stuff?
No.
I went to one
Those
once.
are illegal, Hal.
In the 80s, anything went. In the 80s and the early 90s.
I've been amassing a collection of tapes, though.
Yeah?
I've been really, a buddy has been getting me into cassette tapes.
Is the buddy Eric Edelstein?
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Yeah. He's a groovy dude. We got to have him on the show.
He's super groovy. Of course we do. He gave us our first ever topic.
That's right.
But the reason I ask is that would be like a place that the Spin Doctors probably would have hung out because you could get like recordings of live show. Like I got a cassette tape of a Jim Morrison interview.
Ooh.
And then I think a bootleg of one of their live shows.
So it's, these cassette things you don't have to go to anymore because now you just go to YouTube.
Yes.
And play them and you will hear the same audio as assorted Google pulled images of that artist go on a loop or one image just stays up on the screen the whole time.
Yeah. I miss having to hunt stuff down.
You know what? I know we're getting off the subject here, but that's okay. The subject is Doritos. I heard a word this week that I had never heard before, and I was very excited about.
Okay.
Because it is a word that I was like, finally, there is a word that describes, generationally describes me.
Okay.
It is called, have you heard of a zennial?
That sounds, yes, because it's halfway between Gen X and Millennial.
It's a micro generation.
Yeah.
It's for people born between 1976 and 1983. And these people are defined by having an analog childhood and a digital adulthood. So they weren't raised by the internet. The internet came about as this generation was growing up. So yeah, things like that. I remember I had an audition once when I was in school for some show where I had to sing a Hank Williams song.
Right.
I got up in the morning. I got on the bus. I took it to Tower Records. I bought a Hank Williams cassette and I took it back home and I listened to, or no, it was a CD at this time.
Right.
I bought a Hank Williams CD, took it back home, listened to it and learned the song. Now it would take me, I could do it with the phone that's in my pocket.
Yes.
I can do it with any, like it's everywhere.
Yeah.
I sounded like such a grandpa. With the phone that's in my pocket.
No, I remember as a kid playing video games on the Commodore 64. And you had the giant floppy disks.
Oh, yeah.
That you would put in, and it would take, like, if you were playing G.I. Joe, you wanted to play disc 2, you had to wait like 15, 20 minutes for it to load. But it was worth it because
mine was the same way with Leisure Suit Larry.
Exactly. That's when you got to play as Snake Eyes in both games.
In Leisure Suit Larry.
In Leisure Suit Larry.
They both had Snake Eyes in them. One of them was on a craps table.
That's right.
All right, should we start eating Doritos?
Okay, how do you want to do this?
Oh, did you want to go through the rest of the varieties?
I didn't finish going through the history. Yeah, we had Cool Ranch.
How are we behind?
We had Spicy Nacho in 1997. They don't come out with a lot of new flavors. It seems like in the last 10 years, they've really gone nuts. And a lot of brands have it. Like, we gotta have crazy flavors, and you vote on the flavors. You want ketchup flavor? I had ketchup flavored potato chips the other day. They were good. They tasted like ketchup on a potato chip.
I've seen those, and they also have the dill ones that taste like pickles.
Yeah, those are good.
I saw a ketchup potato. It was brilliant the way they put this together. They took the ketchup, whatever makes it taste like ketchup, and whatever makes it taste like pickles, and it was a burger flavored potato chip, which wasn't actually burger flavored. It was pickle and ketchup. It's the toppings of a burger,
right?
But it was burger chips.
And then the saltiness of the potato chip it fills it out.
Yeah.
It's
also,
incredible.
there were chunks of meat in the bag. Just loose meat.
But that was from a mishap at the plant.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't think that was going to happen.
Yeah. Oh, no. That's not beef. That's Jeff. They did take a leap, though, because like...
Did they have an all Jeff patty available at the commissary?
To all Jeff patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun from the plant. So yeah, it did take a leap. You went from, you had toasted corn in 66, taco in 67. So those were right back to back.
Yes.
Nacho cheese in 72, just 5 years later. You did take a leap of about 14 years before Cool Ranch. Another 11 years before Spicy Nacho. Then it was another 11 years before Spicy Sweet Chili.
Which we do not have here.
Which we do not have because are all of these still existing or are they?
I don't, apparently they exist. Maybe what it is regionally they're different. Maybe Tapatio isn't everywhere. Maybe in Kansas they don't have Tapatio.
Oh, by the way, Dinamita, there's 2 Dinamitas that came out, or a bunch came out in 2014.
They did have some Dinamitas there, but I thought they were mixes, so I did not get. There were like 2 other bags that I did not get.
So Dinamita is dynamite, I'm assuming in Spanish.
I thought it meant seasoning.
Fiery habanero and chile limon. It looks like Flamas is the chile limon.
Yes,
because it has a picture of a lime and a chili on the bag.
Correct. But it's supposed to. This is what Kate's notes say for Flamas. Although this is listed on Frito's website, other sources say it's discontinued.
Hal, did you check the date on this bag of Flamas?
I sure didn't. Is it good until the end of the Korean War? We're fine.
Great. Oh, good.
The original one.
Wait, which Korean War?
The one from way back.
Okay.
Yeah, from that one.
Because that may mean that these are only good until tomorrow.
But it could mean that the mash version of these chips will last longer than the actual version. Okay.
But I skipped one.
Oh, go ahead.
Because it's a terrible, terrible, terrible flavor that exists because people are monsters. And I'm glad that they did not have at the store Doritos Jacked Ranch Dipped Hot Wing flavor. Jacked, let's unpack this.
Okay.
Jacked Ranch Dipped Hot Wing. So it's a hot wing that's dipped in ranch?
Yes.
Or it's a hot wing that's dipped in Jacked Ranch?
That I don't know.
Which is equally spicy.
Or is it the whole thing jacked? What is jacked?
Is the whole thing jacked? Because it doesn't have jack cheese on it.
Exactly. Because remember they did like jack. That was a limited time flavor. There was a time where jack cheese became really popular. And that's not like the dinosaur thing. I like jack cheese just fine, but it was like, everything was like, jack, gotta have jack. I think they had like an ad campaign for jack cheese.
Are you sure you weren't thinking of Jack in the Box ads?
No. I did. When I was a kid, I had a Jack in the Box comic book. They had the little floppy album in it, so you could like listen to the story and you'd read along. And I guess at some point, Jack in the Box existed on the East Coast, but it didn't then. So when I came to California and saw it existed, I was like, it's real. Ooh. The restaurant of my childhood is real. And then I ate there and I thought, this is terrible. How do these exist?
Oh, I actually really like Jack in the Box.
Well, we'll talk about that on another episode.
Look, we both have some serious palate problems.
Yeah.
Let's work our way backwards through these, shall we?
Okay.
Because I want to end with the ones that have a chance of winning.
All right. So we've got a bunch here. So let's start with the mix.
We're going to start with the Doritos mix Blazing Buffalo Explosion.
Now you refuse to chew.
I refuse to chew on mic, so we will be right back. I hope they believe that it's real.
I know you guys believe it's real, but I don't want you to think. Mark refuses to chew, as we said on mic. He's far away. Turn your mic on. Your mic's off right now.
Yeah.
Your mic is off. That's fine. All right. I'm going to try this. We'll do it at the same time so they will not be able to distinguish. Where's that crunch coming from? And I'll hold it over here.
No, because I'm not going to talk until my mouth's empty.
Right, of course. But I'm going to eat this pretty fast. It's really gross to watch me eat anyway. Listening is way better.
This is Blazing Buffalo Explosion.
This is the Blazing Buffalo Explosion. Here we go. It's kind of gross. I feel like I got flavor for 1 second. Very briefly, I got the flavor of maybe a wing, but it tasted more like a jacked ranch dipped buffalo wing than it tasted like buffalo. Because buffalo's got like a buttery, spicy flavor to it. This did not have that.
Okay, I'm back. I got absolutely no flavor out of that. There was, it was, if there was buffalo flavored powder, which is a shame because I do like buffalo. If there was buffalo flavored powder on my chip, it disappeared.
It's buffalo and ranch, and then all the different shapes have different flavors.
Do buffalo and ranch counteract each other though? But no, isn't listeners, for those of you who don't, this is a very visual episode.
Yeah.
This bag of Doritos has Blazing Buffalo Ranch Doritos.
Yeah, those are the
but
regular
then assorted
chips.
Other flavors of corn chip in here.
But
we did not eat
shapes.
those.
They're shapes.
Yeah, we can tell by the shapes that they are. That
Chipotle tube.
We don't have to get into them.
Okay, that's fine. It's not going to win.
No.
It's cute that they put this out. I like what they did where they were like, all the different shapes are, we took we brought our chips to a blacksmith and had them bend the chips into different shapes. It's like one's folded into a tube, one's in a twist, one is in like a 3-dimensional triangle hoop, but they each have a different flavor. It's a smart convention. I'm not interested.
Neither am I. Can we now not chew into the mics? We'll just, from now on we can, now that you've proven that why do you
part of it.
on chewing into people's
because
ears?
It's part of it. I'm not chewing hard.
How? We can't release this if people, it's just like, hey, Hal chews in your ears for 25 minutes.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to put it far away so you faintly hear it. Is that worse?
Yes. It's all, let's eat another. Okay. Now that we've eaten the one that's not on the list, did we even finish doing? Yeah, we finished. There's a bunch of terrible flavors that came out in 2014, and then there's the original ones that we'll get to at the end.
So you want to do Flamas? That seems to be the most recent one.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
You'll be right back. I'm going to eat this. I'm not going to click.
Eat it with the mic on.
We're going to do it. All right. I'm just taking one of these.
I'm going to go in here and do it since your mic.
Mark's going the other room. So there are different colors to these Doritos based on how much dust they have on. I picked one that is bright red. It is as red as the bag of nacho cheese Doritos. Here we go. You can't even hear Mark's in the other room eating his Dorito. Here we go. Here's the thing. Oh, geez. It has a kick. But here's the thing. I have to drink water. The lime flavoring, and Mark, tell me if you agree. When something is lime flavored to me on a chip, it tastes like somebody mixed floor cleaner in. Like they dip the chips in Pledge. That's what it tastes like to me. Spicy and then Pledge.
I got a little, it does feel like the lime. Well, I guess because we're so used to citrus flavored or citrus based cleaning products.
Right.
Specifically fake citrus.
And
this
drinking
is
them.
fake citrus. Yeah.
Yeah, we eat them all the time. This reminds me of that. That is not the best flavor at all. In fact, I need to drink some more water.
It's just it's sort of generally spicy.
And I don't know whatever the gene is in people. I have the one where I hate cilantro. I hate the taste of cilantro. It tastes like dirty soap. The tracest amount of it in a food I don't like.
I love cilantro.
And I don't like lime on chips and stuff. Now, my wife Jennifer, she loves lime flavoring on stuff. So I don't know what the difference is. It may be because I have a child's palate, but as that has expanded in adulthood, this is just gross, right?
Yeah, it's just like powdered hot sauce.
Yes.
But unflavored powdered hot sauce.
With Pledge.
With Pledge
in it.
All right. Let's move on to salsa verde while we're doing all the...
All right. I like salsa verde in general.
Generally, I like salsa verde.
I'll tell you one of my favorite... Next time you're in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm. Are you talking to me?
In the Bay Area.
Okay.
Like the South Bay West Side. Go to Good Stuff.
Nobody goes down there.
Get the chicken chile verde breakfast burrito.
Ooh.
And you're welcome.
All right. Oh, it's on you? Great. Hal will buy you a burrito.
Yeah, show up and just assume that I paid for it and try to leave when you're done.
It's great.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm just going to look on this bag now because I will pick up the bag. And I'm just checking to make sure that tomatillos is the number one ingredient after corn because it is salsa verde. And isn't tomatillo
Is tomatillo in there at all?
Well, that's odd. Jalapeno pepper powder and tomato powder and paprika, onion. This actually sounds like it has some somewhat real stuff in it. All right. Be right back.
Okay. I'm going to keep eating on Mike.
Why?
It's part of the experience.
I don't want to do this episode.
It's too late. It's already happening. We're like a half hour in.
Are we?
Yeah, but I'm holding the mic away. It's not that bad. And I chew. It's like 5 crunches and I'm done. It's one chip. It's one chip.
As long as there's a mic on.
You keep taking like a giant handful of chips. All right. I only need one to know. All right, here we go. Mark, clear the room.
See if you just turn the mic off when we did
I'm not going to turn the mic off. It won't
Why
happen.
are you subjecting our listeners to this?
They like it. It's like ASMR. AMSR.
Our numbers are going to go down.
AMSR. Here we go. Tastes like peanuts. I'm going to say right now, it tastes like peanuts with not the little skin layer of shell on. And there's a little bit of heat, but not really. Like a good salsa verde. It doesn't evoke any of that for me. It tastes like peanuts, right?
Not to me.
Mark does not get the flavor of peanuts. He's taking a drink of his raspberry water. Go ahead. I'll have a drink. You describe what it tastes like to you.
To me, it just tastes like a lot of jalapeno powder. Like that powdered jalapeno is all that I'm tasting.
Yeah.
Which I'm guessing is what makes it green, which by the way, it is not green. It's chip colored.
Yeah. It looks like it's barely flavored at all.
So it's the salsa verde is the flavor, it's not verde colored.
No, it's not verde colored. Only the bag is verde.
Right.
Yeah. That is jalapeno. That's what it is. It's the part of jalapeno.
How are you confusing jalapenos and peanuts?
Because there's an aftertaste to it that almost tastes chemical to me. And I get
weird. A Dorito that is. Let's see what else is in this. Yellow 6 Lake, Red 40 Lake, Blue 1 Lake, Hut.
Hey, the reason why I say that, when I have actual jalapenos, there is an aftertaste to them that like hits me right in my sinuses, not clearing them out, but just that's sort of where the sensation sits that I don't care for. And I get that from this without all the good parts of jalapeno.
Right.
That bag, we should just throw that bag in the garbage.
No, man, I'm just taking all this bag over to game night later.
Fantastic. You're going to game night?
Yeah.
I want to go to a game night.
Come to game night.
I can't go to
game night.
You
love those guys. Why can't you go to game night?
I wasn't invited to game night.
I'm inviting you to game night.
Maybe I'll go to game night.
All right.
Another time. I can't go this time.
What?
I can't.
Ugh. It's because your dumb wife.
No, it's because of my smart wife. My dumb wife. We're not married anymore.
She lets you go anyway.
Yeah.
She doesn't even know about your smart wife.
No. I could never tell her. All right. Do you want to do Tapatio next?
Tapatio. Thou art too hot.
Or pop.
Shout out to my friend Gail who said that on stage once and it made me laugh. Let's go to, okay, let's get rid of the bags that we've already done.
Okay. We're getting rid of Flamas, the mix, and the salsa verde.
Right, let's stick
gone.
with the jalapeno powder and see if we can tell a difference between poppin' jalapeno and
all right.
salsa verde.
Let me get a sip of water while you describe the bag.
It is a light green bag with nearly an identical picture and nearly an identical name. In fact, an identical picture.
Oh, I see what it is. When it's spicy, the Doritos are on fire on the bag.
Yeah. There you go.
You know what? I don't care for it.
Well, we're about to do it again.
Fine, let's go.
All right.
This is kind of making me like Doritos less. These bargain basement flavors that are not as good. It just feels like these are the flavors.
Turn your mic off.
I'm not turning it off.
Turn your mic off.
I'm going to smell it this time. This smells like the Flamas. It really smells like the Flamas to me. This is, how dare you? I do not smell like the Flamas. All right, I'm going to try this. I think it's going to taste just like the one that we had before with the jalapeno, the salsa verde. That's my prediction, is it's going to taste just like it. That is, I'm going to try it while Mark comes back on the mic He's looking at it. You have a confused look on your face. What's going on?
Here's what I think it is. Here's what this one is. They, the salsa verde, the how spicy, all the other ones, they're just the same spice powder. Here's why it's poppin' jalapeno.
Yeah.
Jalapeno poppers have cheese in them. It is, it's their jalapeno, whatever their jalapeno powder is, mixed with their cheese powder.
I don't care for this either. It's got, again, it's like the part of jalapeno flavor that I don't like without the part that I do. Does that make sense? Or do you like just the entire flavor and the whole sensation?
They all, to me, taste like corn chips, honestly. Like these have all tasted virtually the same, except for this one, because I can tell the difference between pepper and, I feel like there is pepper, there's the lime, and then there's the cheese.
Okay.
And then you mix them up and
there you have the facts of life.
Right. But like, I can't tell the difference between the habanero and the jalapeno and yeah.
Okay.
So let's do another one. You know what? Let's go to another one that will be in the same vein as this one.
The Tapatio.
Let's go to, well, I was going to say spicy nacho because it'll also be, these might be the exact same chip.
You know, we could win an Xbox with that bag of spicy nacho flavored.
I'll be right back.
Doritos.
Hal's going to chomp in your ear again.
This is great. By the way, I eat spicy nacho Doritos fairly often. I like them a lot. I've gotten to like spicy foods in my dotage. I've started moving towards it.
Are you a dotard?
I've got one chip here. Mark's eating two. Here we go. That's what I'm talking about. I love it's got the traditional flavor of the nacho cheese, which I like very much. And it's got some kick to it, which I also like. Surprisingly, after eating the other spicy ones, this one does not seem spicy at all to me. Like way less spicy. Do you find that as well, Mark?
I have a hunch that, the spicy nacho Dorito and the poppin' jalapeno, Dorito are just the same two powders in different ratios.
You think so? Mm-hmm. I'm going to try one more.
Turn your mic off.
What's different to you? No, I'm not going to, if anything, I'll get close.
It's pleasant, isn't it, everybody?
Is this bag a dud?
No.
Like, there's no spice to this now.
I can't tell. We've been eating the spicy ones.
Well, let's try the Tapatio.
All right.
Because I was ready to go to bat for a spicy nacho as a flavor. I'm getting no spice off of it. I just think the bag is a dud. Oh, look. The company's a little different for Tapatio. Sabritas, which I guess is the Frito-Lay. Is their arm in Southern America? South America? Southern America. Oh my goodness. Like I said, I'm retiring. This is my last episode of any podcast ever. I do like Tapatio though. It is
brightly colored.
One of my favorite hot sauces. Here we go. I like the flavor. I like the look on this. It's like a good bright orange. It looks like it's got something behind it. There you go. You're going to eat it on mic, aren't you?
No.
Come on. Oh, man. This is so disappointing. It just tastes buttery. I get it though. If you like the hot sauce, if you like the flavor of the hot sauce, it's just like somebody's made a solid form of it. There's barely any of the corn chip in it at all.
It all tastes like 100% corn chip to me. Like all of these are 90% corn chip and 10% whatever other flavor.
Okay. I see. Well, I'll tell you what. Nothing we've eaten so far is a winner yet.
No. The winners are the final three, the ones that we have left.
So the final three are Cool Ranch, Nacho Cheese, and Taco Flavor. Mm-hmm. So before we eat those, okay, let's take a break. And then when we come back, we'll find the winner among this final three. How's that sound to you, Mark?
Fine.
Get with the program. We'll be right back.
Pop Record Panel, we have just 30 seconds to prove to Max Fun listeners that we know what the F we're talking about when it comes to pop culture. All right, you guys, let's go. Famous Chris's.
Walken.
Christopherson.
Hemsworth.
Karen, what's the most iconic lesbian snack?
The wings at Hooters.
The answer is fried green tomatoes. Margaret, what is the Marvel Cinematic Universe missing?
My interest.
Winter, name someone who will EGOT in your lifetime.
Ike Barinholtz.
That's beautiful. Top Gear or Top Model?
Sadly, I have to say Top Gear.
The clear answer is Top Chef.
But Top Model taught us about smizing.
Pop Rocket, smart takes on everything. Catch us every Friday on Maximum Fun.
Hello, Internet. I'm your husband host, Travis McElroy.
And I'm your wife host, Teresa McElroy.
And together we present Schmanners.
It's extraordinary etiquette.
For ordinary occasions.
We explain the historical significance of everyday etiquette topics, then answer your questions relating to modern life.
So join us weekly on MaximumFun.org or wherever podcasts are found.
No RSVP required.
Check out Schmanners.
Schmanners. Get it?
All right, are we going to finish this, or are you going to keep being a baby about it?
I'm being a baby.
You're being a real baby about it. You are being kind of... By the way, when did you get a Wii?
Oh, I've had a Wii for years.
You don't strike me as somebody who would have a Wii.
Really? Because I feel like I strike people as the guy who the only video games he would own would be a Wii.
Because they're dancing games?
Well, because it's like, oh, here's the video game system for people who aren't that into video games. It's like, oh, I'm going to have some people over. We'll play some fake bowling. Like, that's what it, you know what I mean?
You just set like a third of the internet on fire. Wait, is that the original Wii?
It's the original Wii.
So it's not like a Wii U where it has
No. This is not, this is like, look, I didn't mean to insult. I mean, I feel like that anybody who in 2017 has an original Wii and the same like 9 party games, the 2 that came with it and the few that he bought when he got the Wii. That's sort of my relationship to video games.
I don't know why you're not having games.
Unless they're on my phone, then I can cruise through a Cube Escape game in like 5 minutes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure that you like, but not if I invited you over to play like NBA 2K18 on the
I'll tell you what would happen.
Yeah.
I would be, whatever character I was controlling would not be moving. I would spend the whole game just tapping the button that makes sure I am never controlling the character who has the ball. I'd be like, and it's the only way I could even score.
Oh,
like you may get the only basketball shutout in history.
How do you live without Destiny 2?
Because I have Destiny's Child.
Fair enough. All right. Cool Ranch?
Yeah, if we're going in reverse order.
Okay. 1986. Now this is the one you love. Let me say something about Cool Ranch Doritos. I do not like these at all.
Okay.
They're okay. I like them they're just okay. And that's maybe what I dislike about them so much. Because I like the nacho cheese based flavors so much that this is like, it's just okay. And that doesn't cut it when you know that there's better in the world.
If I was on a road trip and wanted to grab a bag of chips for the road trip.
Okay.
It would be Cool Ranch.
Why? Just
because I've liked them since middle school. Like, they're I don't eat them often, so Doritos are kind of a throwback for me to, like, you know, this is like the lunchroom with your friends. That's what the Cool Ranch flavor is for me.
Listen, I used to buy one of these basically 10-ounce bags of nacho cheese Doritos at a giant thing of peanut M&Ms. Mm-hmm. Like the bag that's like, that, you know, they're the bags that are the only size that the only time it's okay to get a bag that size is when you're at the movies. Like, that's the only
I do
world.
love those.
Well, yeah, but somehow that's some neutral ground where you're okay to get the largest amount possible. I would get
Points don't count there.
Yeah, I would get more than that, and I would eat those, just knock them back, just chew and grind them down with Snapple pink lemonades.
Oh.
Or my apple juice that I like.
Did they have apple juice in the movie theater when you went and got the big bag?
No. This wasn't at a movie theater, my friend.
But wait, I thought that was only acceptable at the movie theater.
I was a rebel.
Hal, you rebel. Is that why you're wearing that red jacket right now?
I'm a real counterculture icon. I got into a Cool Ranch Dorito fight over at Griffith Observatory.
Oh my God.
That's how much of a rebel I am.
All right, now we're going to try these.
All right, here we go. Fine. Again, it's fine. It's got a little, I don't like the creamy, I don't like the tangy. I'm not a huge ranch guy. Like, if I'm going to have ranch, maybe I'll like dip some carrots in it or something, but it's just not.
I have some carrots. Do you want to dip them in this bag of chips?
I do. I want to wrap one into if you took the recipe for Cool Ranch Doritos and you baked them around carrots, you'd have a great treat.
What?
You put it
How
around
would you
carrots.
do? Oh, you mean like.
What you need to do is take the Cool Ranch Doritos and then find a way, like if you have the recipe, when you make them, you roll them around a carrot and then you bake them that way. So you have carrots dipped in ranch.
Wait, do you mean the chip is still whole, like you do them while they are?
Yeah. You make a chip tube.
You really think that the Dorito factory has carrots? I don't think that vegetables and Doritos are allowed in the same building.
They do.
Now, you could, like, get some and put them in a food processor, crush them up, and, oh, man, I'm describing breaded, deep-fried Cool Ranch carrots. What is wrong with my brain right now?
This is what Doritos do to you. You had too many flavors of Doritos at once.
I guess.
Yeah,
Which one of these Doritos is a sativa? All right, what's our next?
Next is what is now sort of the standard bearer of Doritos.
Mm-hmm.
It's nacho cheese. The nacho cheese Dorito. This is just what you have when you go get some Doritos in a traditional bag now for 45 years. This has been what a Dorito is.
All right.
A base Dorito.
Yeah. A base Dorito.
A base Dorito. You have Dorito on your nose.
Really? Is it adorable?
Yeah, don't move it. I'll take a picture of it for later. I know you want to wipe it off. There you go. You got it. See? Then maybe it was a booger. All right. I'll go into this bag
bright
first.
orange booger.
Nacho cheese. Here we go. I'm going to spin the bag around and I'll just take one of these. It would be unfair to take more, but I love that it's the same base chip every time. And you can just see the nacho cheese love on it. So here we go. Let's try it. I'll tell you what. Some of these chips are too hard. Some of these chips are too soft. This chip, I think, is just right. And maybe it's because when I see Dorito and when I think of Doritos, this is the flavor I think of. So when I try any other style, it just is like, well, that doesn't quite taste right because it doesn't taste like that. It doesn't taste like the base Dorito. What do you think?
I think that this one, it's nacho cheese powder flavor. Like, everyone in the world knows what nacho cheese powder flavor tastes like. That's what this is.
Right.
In its entirety.
Yeah.
And it's got a good cling factor it's got a better cling factor to the Dorito than any of the other flavors did.
Yes.
The powder in particular. So maybe it's because it's nacho cheese, so it's got a little extra maltodextrin for some powdered fat. Which I found out is what apparently maltodextrin is.
Oh, gross.
And that's what makes it stick.
Yikes.
But it is not bad.
And it's one of the best parts of having any Dorito, whether it's Cool Ranch or nacho cheese or any of the spicy ones, that you have it on your fingers afterwards. So when you're done.
I hate that. You
lick it off and then you go wash your hands.
Oh, no. I will be meticulous I will be like the claw machine just to get those Doritos out and not make a mess of my hands.
Fine. I'm sorry.
Look, I understand how that is. That's just me. I have my OCD fastidiousness.
Right.
I understand the idea of getting your hands dirty up in there.
Okay.
All right. And we have, this is so far, this is the one to beat.
This is the one to beat. So you would agree that this is the one to beat over Cool Ranch?
The problem with the Cool Ranch is the Cool Ranch flavor does not stick to the chip.
Right.
So it just tastes like a lightly seasoned tortilla chip.
Right.
Which I enjoy.
Yes.
But,
it's not
if I do that, I'm going to get a Tostitos hint of lime.
Okay, there you go. I get it. All right, here we go. This is tight. Now, the reason why, let's keep in mind a little bit of history here. The reason why this flavor came out is the original corn chip style, that whatever they styled it after, people complained, or the feedback they got was that it was bland.
Mm-hmm.
The original was bland, the original corn chip.
Because it was a corn chip that was corn flavored.
Corn flavored, probably just was light seasoning on it. So this was the response to that.
Okay.
And for 5 years, from 67, I think it was 67, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, from 67
72.
Until 72, this is the flavor of Doritos.
All right.
So here we go. With that in mind,
I'd like to point out that yesterday at this time when we were talking about 1970, this era of time, we were talking about the cultural importance of certain costumes in major motion pictures. Now we're talking about Dorito powder.
Also important, and also something you wear. All right, here we go. This is our final flavor. This is taco flavor. Again, favorite bag. Here we go. Oh, ma'am. What? Wait a minute. What Willy Wonka sorcery is this? When I took the first bite, I got like a sour cream cheese flavor. Then as I went through the chip more, I got the ground beef flavor and a little bit of the tomato flavor and a little bit of like the salsa or hot sauce flavor.
Yeah, this one knows what's up.
I was ready to go. Like the first munch, and this is off a single chip. I was like, this is whack. Of course, in 1967, this was,
They got some stuff right in 1967, and I think this is one of them. Not saying that the nacho cheese Dorito screwed it up.
No.
The nacho cheese Dorito is delicious, but this one is easily my favorite.
I'm intrigued by it. The fact that it took me on a journey, it really was. It's the pieces of gum from Willy Wonka's factory where it tastes like a full meal. You get all of the different shades of a good bite of taco where you do like what I would call a composed bite. Mm-hmm. And I've always been someone, surprise, surprise, if I have like 3 or 4 different things on my plate, I'll eat them one at a like one bite of this, then one bite of that. Recently, in the last couple of years, Jennifer has started going, well, I'm going to take a little bit of everything and put it all together so I can get the full sort of flavor profile, get what the chef was going for. This feels like the Dorito with a flavor profile to it. A full
This is
journey.
This is a special Dorito. I think we've stumbled upon something pretty magical here that the oft overlooked because it's still in its original bag.
Right.
People think they're old on the shelf. They're like, I'm not buying those. Those are some 70s Doritos.
Or you look at it and go, well, it's just the original. It's what people think of as the original, which for me, like I would have thought nacho cheese was the first. I was like, why is the taco in a throwback bag? Now knowing from Kate McManus's impeccable research that it was essentially the first quote unquote flavored Dorito and that it's 50 years old, I go, well, geez.
Wow, it is exactly 50 years old. You know what? I'm ready to give this one to the taco Dorito, specifically on flavor. But also there's a bit of a sentimentality to it to give it to the Dorito who turned 50 this year.
Yeah, people of the world, let's all wish a happy birthday to the taco-flavored Dorito tortilla chip. It's still spry. It's still contributing at the workplace. And surprisingly, I was not expecting this. I really thought nacho cheese was going to win. Those are real good chips. If you have not had a taco-flavored Dorito, go get them first. And then, you know what? Frame the bag when you're shills. Done. I wish Frito-Lay had hired us to do this, but they didn't. We did this purely for love of the game. And I did.
I did because you compelled me to.
I ate on a microphone.
By just showing up at my apartment with a lot of Doritos.
And unlike a vampire, I do not need to be invited in. Although I did knock.
You did knock.
Because I'm polite.
Yeah.
But I also had 3 shopping bags full of Doritos with me. And
Are we done yet?
I've always been curious about this flavor. No, this is going to be a half-hour long sentence. I've always been curious about this flavor, and I'm glad I tried it.
It's very good.
It's really good. It's the best Dorito flavor. Surprise. I know I'm surprised. Are you surprised?
I'm surprised.
We're all surprised. You're surprised. Now go eat the best Doritos flavor, which is taco flavor. Asked and answered. Well, Tuna the Panda?
There you go. To everyone else, apologies to Jonathan Dinerstein and Mike Furman, our musicians, and apologies to you, our listeners, for listening to us chomp. Well, not us.
You know what? I'm going to say thank you. I'm going to say thank you to producer Ken Plume. I'm going to say thank you to researcher Kate McManus, who gave us information.
Thank you, Kate. Yes.
To make this not a chewing party. Thank you to graphic designer Uri Kelman and QA engineer Jen Alba. And although this topic has been settled, there are a ton more. So you can email us at wegotThisPodcast@gmail.com, or you can go to our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/wegotThisPodcast, which is also where you can go to find out when we're doing live shows, because we've got tons of live shows happening all the time. At the airing of this, we may have done some, we may have some yet to come, but we're going to keep finding opportunities to appear live. We're going to fake it till we make it, kids. We may not be the biggest podcast in the world, but we love doing live shows, and they're always a lot of fun. So that's where you go to find information on live shows.
Or check out the Maximum Fun subreddit, or reach out to us on Twitter at WeGotThisTweets. And I did it all out of order, so I don't know now what I'm supposed to do.
I'm going to tell you what to do.
All right.
I'm going to say, for Mark Gagliardi, I'm Hal Lublin, and then you'll say...
For Hal Lublin, I'm Mark Gagliardi.
Did you notice I said your name weird? I Philadelphia'd it.
Mark Gagliardi?
I did. I said I'm Mark Gagliardi. Let me do it properly.
Okay.
For Mark Gagliardi, I'm Hal Lublin.
And for Hal Lublin, I'm Mark Gagliardi. And don't worry, everybody. We got this.
We got this.
MaximumFun.org.
Comedy and culture.
Artist owned.
Listener supported.